Hey guys, it's been a while since I put out a video of me actually talking and doing or showing something, so figured I'd do that. I just recently acquired the last two juices from the Tom Ford private blend line to complete the whole line, and you can see the whole thing in front of you here. So I figured I'd do a little video on them. I'm going to steal an idea from Marc. Do a little good, the bad, and the ugly of all of these. As far as I know, no one else has done this. And I did speak with him, and he said it'd be a while before he got around to doing one himself, so I figured I'd put one out for you guys. Quickly, before I go through all of them that I have, I did not include in this video the signature collection, which includes Tom Ford for Men, Black Orchid, Tom Ford Extreme, yada yada yada. I own Tom Ford for Men, and I own Tom Ford Extreme, and a couple other little samples here and there. But they're really not as good as these, to put it bluntly. And they're not part of the private blends, obviously, so I'm going to keep them out of this. I also am not including the White Musk collection, first of all, because I don't like them. And second of all, because they're really a separate line. They are marketed similarly. They're in the same area of the store as the private blends, but they're really very different. They're not the same. They don't smell the same. They're nowhere near these. Quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if he retires the whole line soon. So, anyway, without further ado, let's go through everything I have here. Starting out with Amber Absolute. Nope, that's not focused. Oh, that's Amber Absolute. I do have a split of this open. One spot left. 50 mils. Get in on it. Arabian Wood. Looks like my camera's not going to be helpful, so I'll just have to take my word on it. That's Arabian Wood. This has no sticker, but that's Azure Lime. This is Black Violet. This little rollerball guy is Bois Marcan. This is one of the two that I recently picked up to complete the collection. It is Bois Rouge, a retired one. This guy is Champaka Absolute. Then we get into the big boys, continuing alphabetically. Italian Cypress, and a recently acquired one, another retired Japon Noir, an excellent bottle. Continuing along, one of his newer ones, Jasmine Roof. If you like Alien from Terry Mugler, try this guy. This, another retired one, Moss Bresh. No sticker, but that's what it is. This guy is Neroli Portofino. I will be doing a split of this come springtime. An excellent spring and summer scent. Back to the big ones. Noir de Noir. A very popular one. Oud Wood. Recently completed split. Moving to another discontinued one. I had to get a decant of this from a guy, because it's nowhere to be found anywhere. This is, I don't know if you can read that, Purple Patchouli. If this was the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the most confusing and interesting, this guy would win confusing and interesting. It is way out there. That is nuts. But it's not too bad. New one. One of his two new ones, Santal Blush. I did have to close the split of that. No one's interested in it, apparently, so it is what it is. The rock star of the line, Tobacco Vanille. Tuscan Leather. Wish this was more popular than it is. It's great juice. And finally, the last one of the two that I acquired to complete the collection, Velvet Gardenia. Very hard to find that. Very hard to find that. So that is what I have, all 19, including 5 retired ones. So, the good. What is the most popular one, the most He doesn't really release sales figures, so it's hard to determine what the top seller is, but just based on how popular they are online, how quickly these splits have sold and filled both for me and for others. The good, the most popular, pretty easy to tell. Tobacco, without a doubt. You can open a split of this and fill 250 milliliters in a day with no problem. That is by far the most popular one from this line on the internet right now. But it is not my favorite. That would be this guy. I think this is the most unique from the line. Well, maybe not the most unique, but up there. If I had to pick one, I would pick this. If I could only take one with me on a deserted island or something like that. This is just great. It's awesome juice. If you haven't tried it, definitely get in on it. It is gaining popularity on the internet, on YouTube, on Base Notes, other places. I have gotten a lot of requests to do another split of this, and I probably will after the new year, after the holidays are over. Both this and tobacco. I do have a list of people who've gotten in touch with me about that. But that is the good. The bad, what's the most underrated one? I'm going to go with one of the retired ones. It's a shame that this was retired, because it is one of my favorites, Japon Noir. This is a smoky, incense, slightly sweet, very unique one. This would be, along with Purple Patchouli, the most unique from this line, and really two of the most unique I've smelled anywhere. They don't smell like anything else. Really, they don't. Having a hard time coming up with words to describe this one. Really, the best thing I could tell you is that it smells like smoldering incense with a little tiny bit of sugar on top, ever so slight amount of sugar. The sweetness in this really is certainly not anything like tobacco. It's very faint. But this one, it's good. It's really good. It's very unfortunate that it was retired and that it's hard to find now. It's not in stores anymore. You might be able to find a Tom Ford rep who has a bottle of this lying in a drawer somewhere, and they might let you smell it or give you a little sample, but you have to look online to find it. The ugly, what is the worst? It's hard for me to find a worst from this line because I do like it quite a bit, but there is one that I really don't like, that I definitely think stands out as the worst from this line, and that would be Azure Lime. Has no sticker, it's the worst, it doesn't deserve one. I was talking with a rep at a store, this store that I go to, Neiman's. We were discussing this one because I said to her, look, I got this sample and I just don't like it. And she looked at me and said, you know what, you're right. This is not Tom Ford. This is not what I think of when I think of him, when I think of the brand, when I think of what he puts out. This does not come to mind, and I have to agree with her completely. This, while it's good, it's a nice, summery, lime, fresh scent. That's all it is. It's something that's been done before 1,000 times. I don't really get very good longevity out of it. It's done on my skin in about 3 or 4 hours, which for summer, I guess, can't expect much, but for an eau de parfum, especially from a high-end line like this, you want more. And when I think Tom Ford, I think unique, I think quality, I think smelling things that I've never smelled before, and getting a product that I can't get elsewhere. With the majority of all these here, that applies. This one, it does not. You can find a lime fragrance anywhere, from just about any house. And this one really does nothing to set itself apart from any of them. There's no real addition to it that sets it apart. There's no secondary note or tertiary note that really makes you say, that's from Tom Ford. It's basically just a watery lime fragrance, which you can get out of a $20 Tommy Bahama bottle. So if you're looking for one, don't buy that. Might catch a little crap for that because I know it is somewhat popular, and I may run a split of it when the summer comes around because I have had some people ask me about it, but I won't be getting in on that one, or if I do, I'll get in for like 5 mils. I really don't use it very often, and you can only use it in the summertime. Don't even bother with the winter or the fall, maybe on a warm spring day. Just stay away from it. So that is that. That is all 19 of them. There is one that is out that I don't have, but it's not available anywhere except for Los Angeles right now and some other parts of California. That is Lavender Palm. It's the one you've seen in the big silver one of these bottles. I have heard that it will be released. I don't know if just in the United States, but I've been told nationwide in the U.S. after the new year that it will be available. When it is, I will test it as soon as I can, and very likely will hold a split on it on one of these big bottles. I've been told that it will come in this normal brown packaging at the same cost as all the other ones, that it would be $4.75. Currently, in the silver one, it runs for $950, which, I love your juice, Tom, but I'm not paying $950 for it. That's freaking outrageous. And it would make a split, it'd be double the cost. You'd be running about well over $200 for 50 mils of juice of that, and that's just not worth it. I don't care if that stuff has gold in it. I'm not paying that much. And I don't think too many other people would either. But I have heard that it will be available in the brown packaging for the same $4.75, meaning the cost would be the same as all the other ones have been. So hopefully we'll get to that. Otherwise, I said the Amber Absolute split is still open. I still have those 2 Bond splits, West Side and I Love New York for all. They're going much slower than I thought they would. So to those who have reserved spots, yes, they are still on. I'm sorry this is taking so long. I don't know why. I can't imagine why nobody wants them. They are both great juice. But that's that. So I will see you guys soon.